Hello. Uh, Again, as I told you, this session is on the first, when you come into cybersecurity, the first common course that is taken is certified ethical hacking. So there's a certification as well, where we will prepare you for the certification exam. Okay. And that could also help you in getting a job.
Okay. Sir, actually, right now I'm working as a IDEM engineer in Wipro, actually. And
Okay.
my domain is the cybersecurity only.
Okay.
And
So are you working on any tools, such as SIEM
uh,
tools?
right now, I'm using ServiceNow portal. Uh,
Okay.
I was in a little bit toward the kind of support project. I started my job last 5 months ago only. Means yeah, I'm this year only I got passed out
Okay.
and got a on-campus offer from Wipro,
Okay. Okay. Sure. Nice.
working in this domain,
Uh,
cybersecurity.
but what tools are you using? Like what is your job role? What do you do?
I'm working as an IDEM engineer there. Right now I'm currently my major role is on the support type of project, and currently I'm using a ServiceNow portal where I have to resolve the tickets.
Okay. And okay, seems maybe not completely into cybersecurity. You have been put in cybersecurity domain, but are your tickets related to cybersecurity itself? Like,
Yes,
are they
sir.
relevant to it?
Related to the security, I mean, I have to check the authentication of a person, whether I
Okay,
have
okay, okay,
privilege that kind of network or database. I have to check before giving the access to person.
okay. Nice. Yeah, okay, that is related. So that is also a part of a SIM tool itself, actually. But again, yeah, as your doubt was, we learn about all those authentication techniques. We learn about all the different types of attacks. So as I've told you, CH is a very foundational course, okay, from basic to intermediate level, which covers all the areas of hacking. So you will have Windows hacking, Wi-Fi hacking, mobile hacking, Linux hacking, and how to perform vulnerability scanning, how to perform penetration testing. So it's all basics of all the concepts. Okay. So yeah, it's an overall course where you understand all the different terminologies in cybersecurity and understand all the concepts that are related to it. And from there, you can go ahead and learn the advanced courses. And it acts as a stepping stone for you for the other advanced courses.
Sir, actually, what's the scope? I mean, in the future, what's the scope of this domain? I'm
Again,
also curious
yeah,
about this because
the
I just started my career and just want to know the scope.
sure,
I
sure,
mean,
definitely.
where
So
I will be standing after 5 years or after few some year.
again, I guess right now you're at just the monitoring level since you're a complete fresher. But as you proceed further, as you go ahead, you'll be getting job roles as senior security analyst and stuff. So it's again, the scope of cybersecurity is too good because as I've told you, every business is shifting online and you can work as a freelance pen tester or you can also work for organizations as security analyst or pen testers. Again, as I've told you, it's right now the main go-to domain is cybersecurity. There's a huge demand in cybersecurity domain, and there's a lot of job openings coming up as well. So I would recommend that you stay in the same field, same domain, and try to do a few certifications like certified ethical hacking and web application pen testing, and then increase your knowledge on that.
Okay, sir. Sir, actually, very honestly, I'm little bit not interested in the development side. I mean, I'm looking towards the kind of profile for that in which there is a development, but the level of that is not too much high.
Sure.
Are you
No problem,
understanding?
Balti. I totally understand. Again, cybersecurity requires minimum knowledge of development, so it's a good field, I could say.
I want something that I can apply my technical knowledge, all that, but towards the complete development, I'm not right now. I'm not suitable, comfortable
I
with that profile.
No problem,
Actually,
Balti. I
I mean
totally
the
understand.
because many times when I explore the job sites, there is a requirement for Java and C++. I mean, complete development.
No.
So
For cybersecurity jobs, if you carefully observe, there's no requirement for development. Basic skills is sufficient, and I'm pretty sure you're good with the basics of any programming language. So if that is there, if you
yes,
can
I'm
understand the source
comfortable
code,
with
that's enough.
Java.
Sure, that's more than sufficient. So again, when you go with web application pen testing, you might need a few some advanced level knowledge on HTML and JavaScript. Other than that, when we talk about cybersecurity in brief or as a domain itself, programming is not that necessary because you have tools and tools. Everything is automated. So if you're good enough with how to use those tools to their extent, that is more than sufficient.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Okay.
that's what's actually my question. I was little bit worried also.
No
Uh,
worries.
I mean, if I'm not that much comfortable with the programming, what will be the how I will be sustained in this industry
No. As I've told you, it requires a minimum to basic knowledge of programming, not in depth.
in depth? Okay, sir.
Not in depth knowledge is not required. Okay, because if you notice the course contents over here for CES, you can notice that's all on different techniques or steps of hacking. Okay, so there's malware attacks, web application pen testing, mobile hacking, Wi-Fi hacking. These don't require you programming knowledge. They have tools for each and every module separately, and we try to learn how to use these tools to their full capacity.
Hello.
Any other questions, guys, for anyone else?
Yeah. Hello.
Hi, Abbas, Kant, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Right,
So
you're
just tell
announcing
me
that,
one
right?
thing. This course covers CEH curriculum complete.
Yeah.
Okay. The second question is this. Actually, is cloud security is there? Uh,
Uh-huh.
I don't talk about the platforms or companies. Uh, so how much this certification help in that particular security, or it will not?
Uh, Again, cloud security is completely different, Abbas.
Different, no?
CEH does not
Uh-huh.
contain cloud security. We talk
It is
about
totally
basics of
based.
precaution.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting again.
Sure, no problem.
Uh, this means this profile. If I am a career switcher, means I want to move to security. This is totally is what actually the job profile. How much is security means certification charges, and what is the salary starting? Can you tell me this thing?
Sure, definitely. As I've
Thank
told
you.
you, this is a foundational course, a basic course for someone who's entering into the domain of cybersecurity. Okay, so once you're done with the course, you can try to write a certification from the EC Council itself. This is the
Okay.
organization who's providing you the course of certified ethical hacking. And the certification charges are around 400 to $500. They keep varying a bit. So I guess you could take on an average of 450 or $500. Okay. And once you write that exam, so after the certification is an exam of 125 questions, multiple choice questions again. Okay. And out of those 125, you need to get 75% of them right. So around 112 or 114 questions right. Okay. And once you do that, you get cleared in the certification, you get the certificate, which is valid for 3 years. Okay. And after 3 years, again, you might have to write another different certification or the same certification again. That extends the warranty by another 3 years. So again, when we talk about CEH, this does not cover cloud security in depth. Okay. We talk about basics of remediations and security features or security implementations that are required, but not in depth. Okay, this is, as I've told you, is just a beginner level course for people who are completely new to cybersecurity. You need to understand the terminologies used and the attack vectors or the possible attacks that happen in the cybersecurity domain. So this course revolves around how these attacks happen and how do you prevent these kinds of attacks. Again, so cloud security is a completely different specialization. After CEH is done, you can choose your specialization. If you want to go towards mobile pen testing, you can go towards mobile. If you want to go towards network pen testing, you can go towards network. If you want to go towards web application pen testing, there's different categories again, specializations again, and cloud security is another specialization. Okay, CEH is like a master of none, jack of all kind of a deal. Okay, so it teaches you on basics of all the different domains one by one. Okay, system, Android, mobile, whether that be Wi-Fi or network pen testing, everything, web applications as well, but not in depth, up to basic to intermediate level. For advanced level, you have to choose that specialization separately again.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, there's 5 members. Again, I guess, guys, you haven't joined yesterday's workshop, right? How many of you already joined yesterday's workshop on Sunday? Anyone that was already joined this workshop yesterday? I guess Baldeep, did you join the session yesterday?
No, sir.
Oh, okay, sure. Okay, guys. It's around 10:45. Let's wait, just wait for 2 more minutes and see if someone else joins, and then we'll continue with the session. Let's take a very basic introductory demo session on CEH and discuss what topics are covered in the whole course. Okay. Okay. Abbas, Baldeep, Rajesh, Salman, Santosh, V. I guess I'm audible and I hope the screen is visible as well. Any issues with the audio or the video for anyone? Okay, perfect. So if there's any questions or if there's any queries, you can interrupt me at any certain point. Okay, so let's start the session without any further ado. So let's take a small demo session on what the courses of certified ethical hacking, so we can understand what this course is going to cover. Okay, before I start this is a common question that I ask all the students. It's a very common question again. What, according to you, in your perspective, what do you think hacking is? So let's keep this interactive and both sides. Let's keep it 2 ways rather than keeping it one-sided and boring. Okay. So again, guys, let me know, according to you, in your perspective, what is hacking? I don't need definitive answers or book terms or answers, just whatever comes to your mind.
Crafting other information, simple language, or hack. Crafting is hacking, same other information.
Okay, trying to get access into other information systems. Okay, perfect. Any other answers? Any other opinions? That's completely correct. There's nothing wrong in that. Any other answers, guys? Again, guys, like I said, let's keep this a bit interactive and fun rather than keeping this one-sided. So the more interactive it is, the much better, I guess.
Information, important information, which are crucial for any organization.
Uh-huh.
Stealing,
Oh, okay,
and
stealing information. Okay, right. Perfect. Perfect answer. Completely right. Okay, guys. So basing on the words that you have mentioned yourself, if I just define it out, as you can see, it's the same thing that you have mentioned. It is the procedure of trying to gain access to information systems to steal that information from those systems. Okay. Now, these information systems could be anything. They could be as small as a mobile device to as big as a web application server or a database. And this is done without the permission or the consent of the person owning those systems. Okay, so the person who owns them has no knowledge that someone is performing hacking. Okay, and this is usually performed by hackers for their own benefit. Okay, once they get access to the information, they can steal it, they can destroy it, or just sell it on the dark web for their own benefit. Okay, or sometimes hackers also just harm other organizations just for fun. Okay, nothing more than that. Now, if hacking seems so illegal or so criminalistic, why do we have a course called ethical hacking? Is the second question. Okay, if hacking is wrong, how can we call it ethical? Or what is ethical hacking? What is this course? Certified ethical hacking is the second question. Okay, now when we talk about ethical hacking, on the other hand, it is a procedure of trying to gain vulnerabilities or trying to find the vulnerabilities or loopholes in the information systems. And this is done with the permission of the organization. So you take permission from the organization, you follow their policies and their laws and their regulations and try to perform penetration testing, where penetration testing is nothing but trying to find the vulnerabilities and attack on the vulnerabilities and check if there is any loophole. through which a hacker can gain access. Once this is done, once an ethical hacker finds these vulnerabilities, his job is to report these vulnerabilities back to the authority or the organization, so that once they are reported back, they can be patched up and the security patch can be applied to close that vulnerability there itself. Once it is closed, that closes the doorway for the hacker as well to cause any further harm. Okay, so as an ethical hacker, you're trying to find the vulnerabilities and you're trying to attack on those vulnerabilities depending on the laws and policies provided by the organization with their permission, so that you can check test if it is secure or insecure, if there's any loopholes. If there are loopholes or vulnerabilities, you report them back and then the appropriate patches are applied. Once the patches are applied, that closes the attack vectors, that closes the possibilities of causing any cyber attack on the organization. Okay, thereby you're increasing the security of the infrastructure rather than causing any harm. Is this clear, guys? What is hacking and what is ethical hacking, and what's the main difference between both of these? Hello, guys, any questions for anyone?
No, fine, clear.
Oh, sure. Now let's proceed further. Depending on these two definitions, we can categorize the different types of hackers as well. Okay, so there's someone known as a black hat hacker, a gray hat hacker, and finally a white hat hacker. Now the black hat hacker is the villain of the story. He performs hacking for his own benefit or just for fun and tries to harm organizations. On the other hand, the hero of the story is a white hat hacker, also known as the ethical hacker. Okay, and these people perform penetration testing with the permission of the organization to disclose the vulnerabilities. In between, there's a third person, a mysterious guy called a gray hat hacker. Now, this guy has both the qualities of a black hat hacker as well as a white hat hacker. Like a black hat hacker, he doesn't ask for permission and directly starts attacking the organization or finding vulnerabilities. But like a white hat hacker now, once he finds a vulnerability, he reports it back without taking advantage. Okay, so again, but he does not report it for free, obviously. He reports it for a bounty in return. Now, that bounty could be anything. It could be a mention in the Hall of Fame to gain reputation or some prize money or award, anything. Okay, but he doesn't do it for free, obviously. Okay, and all these types of hackers, whether that be black hat hacker or a gray hat hacker or a white hat hacker, they perform hacking or penetration testing in a systematic way. They follow a step of procedures, and those step of procedures are called hacking cycle or cyber kill chain. Okay, now again, various organizations categorize these steps into various numbers, but if I had to sum it up, there are 5 important steps. Okay, and any professional hacker or a penetration tester follows these steps in the same order. Okay, so our whole course of certified ethical hacking is going to comprise of these simple 5 steps itself. Okay, the first step is known as information gathering. It can also be called as a reconnaissance or footprinting. Second step is known as scanning. Third step is, so it can also be called as enumeration. Third step is gaining access. Fourth step is maintaining access. Fifth step is reporting or clearing traces. Okay, and the reason I've specifically mentioned or in the last step is because that is where it makes all the difference between a white hat hacker and a black hat hacker. Okay, so if you're a white hat hacker, you try to report all the steps from the step number 1 to step number 5, from information gathering till reporting. Every single step is reported and submitted to the organization. If you're a black hat hacker, obviously you'll not be reporting this, but you'll try to remove all the evidences, which is nothing but deleting all the log files and the traces so that he cannot be traced out. Okay, now let's briefly discuss about each of these steps one by one so that we can have a clear picture of what is being discussed in the course. First, as the name itself suggests, information gathering is nothing but the process of trying to gain as much information as possible about the target passively. What I mean by passively is that you try to gain this information from third-party sources, okay? Rather than making any active or direct connection with the organization, rather than contacting them directly, you try to get this information from third-party sources, from the internet. Now you could be asking, so what kind of information are we actually trying to gain over here? And this is the information as follows. Okay, so you try to gain information such as IP addresses, the range of IP addresses, their whois information, their employee details, their contact numbers, their email addresses, if possible, their leaked usernames and passwords, and the domain names and their subdomains. And trust me, all this information can be gained for any organization from the internet directly. Okay, each and every nook and corner of a network of an organization and their IP addresses and the server details are available on the internet. It's only that the catch is you need the correct resources for that. Okay, once you get all this information from those appropriate sources, you perform the next step, which is scanning. Okay, now scanning is a technique where you try to make active connections with the target. You send packets from your system directly to the target system to get some return data, okay, in responses. There's three different categories of scanning. There's network scanning, port scanning, and vulnerability scanning. Rajesh, do you have any question? You have unmuted your mic. Is there a question? Hello. Okay. Guys, any questions up to this part for anyone? Abbas, Baldeep, Rajesh, Salman, Santosh, Virendra.
No, sir, it is
No.
till now.
Okay, sure. Let's understand what scanning is. As I've told you, scanning is a much more advanced concept where you try to perform information gathering itself, but by making active connections. You try to gather more information by sending some packets to the organization servers, and in response, you get some extra information. Okay, when we talk about network scanning, we use a very important tool which is used widely in the industry. It's called Nmap. Okay, Nmap is a tool with which you can try to find all the active devices in a local network. Okay, so if you're connected to the organization's network from your single device, you can figure out what other servers or what other disk systems or what other routers or what any other network device is connected. From that, you can perform port scanning, an advanced step where you can try to figure out what ports are open on those target systems. And on those ports, what applications or what services are running. Once you get the list of applications and services running, you try to perform vulnerability scanning, where in that you try to find the vulnerabilities in those services. Once the vulnerabilities are found, you try to attack them on those vulnerabilities. So it's a step-by-step process. You try to gain information. From that information, you try to perform scanning. From scanning, you get the list of all the open ports and the open services running. And on those services, you perform vulnerability scanning. And on those vulnerabilities, you try to attack. Okay. After scanning is done, you perform gaining access, the next step, as I've mentioned. And gaining access is a kind of a vast topic which covers a diverse concepts. Okay, and these are a list of all the concepts. Okay, first step, the first concept that you learn in gaining access is system hacking, where I'll show you how to crack or bypass any Windows operating system password. If that is Windows 7, 8, 8.1 or 10, doesn't matter. I'll show you how to crack that password if it is weak enough or moderately strong. If it is too strong, I'll show you how to bypass it, which means completely deleting the password and getting access to the system. Okay. After system hacking, we have malware attacks, where malware is nothing but a short term used for two different words, malicious software. Okay. Now, again, malware is an umbrella term. There's a lot of different categories like viruses, worms, trojans, spyware, adware, ransomware, and a lot more. So it might not be practically possible to discuss about all the malwares, but the most important ones will be practically shown. Okay, I'll show you practically how to create these kinds of malwares and how to defend yourself from these kinds of malwares as well. Okay, then there's a advanced bonus concept. This is not included in the CH curriculum, but I've added this so students have a better understanding. This is one concept where I'll teach you Python program myself. Okay, and I'll make you write your own keylogger in Python. A keylogger is a spyware which once installed on the target system can capture all the keystrokes. So whatever the user types on his system, whether it be usernames or passwords or some random content on the notepad file, everything single keystroke will be captured and sent to the attacker's machine. Okay, and I'll make you write your own keylogger using Python 3 program. Okay, again, guys, you don't need to learn that separately from anywhere. Basics of Python 3, I'll be teaching you myself, and I'll make you write your own.
So only Python program is used, or other languages also used in it?
You can use any language of your choice, but since Python is the most simplest of all, that's why I've shown, I've included Python. Okay. Again, after that, we have network penetration testing, where we learn the common day-to-day attacks that happen in real-time scenarios on networks, such as sniffing attacks using Wireshark tool, or MITM attack, which stands for man-in-the-middle attacks, or denial of service attack, which is also known as DOS attacks, and distributed denial of service attacks, and so on. So we practically see how these attacks are performed in real-time scenarios, and how do you defend yourself from these kinds of attacks. After that, we'll also learn about wireless networks, how to hack into Wi-Fi routers, such as with WPA or WEP security. And then comes social engineering, where I'll show you how hackers can create fake login pages. Okay, so whatever page it be, any bank website or any normal website or any social media site, I'll show you how hackers can create these fake websites, and I'll show you how hackers get the usernames and passwords, credentials from these fake websites, login sites. After that, we have web application penetration testing, where I'll show you the common vulnerabilities that exist on websites. Okay, there's a lot actually. There's a separate website dedicated to it called OWASP Top 10, but we'll be discussing the most important weaknesses, okay, that could usually exist in websites, like SQL injection, cross-site scripting, broken authentication, and file upload. Now, these might sound very technical, guys, but these are just weaknesses or loopholes in websites. And I'll show you how to find these weaknesses and how to exploit them or take advantage of them. Okay, with these weaknesses, you can try to get the internet cookies, or you can get the database access. You can see the usernames and passwords, or you can get direct login access to websites without even credentials. Okay, so I'll show you how that is performed. After that comes vulnerability assessment, where I'll be showing you a very important tool that is used in the industry. It's called Metasploit framework. Using this Metasploit framework, you can try to use exploits and try to attack systems on vulnerabilities. Okay. After scanning, after you scan for the vulnerabilities, you've got to attack on them. You've got to exploit them. And for that, that is known as vulnerability assessment. After that comes hacking mobile phones, where I'll show you how to hack into any Android phone. Okay, whether it be Android 7, 8, 9, or 10. I'll show you how to install malwares and how to get access of that remote Android phone. Okay, once you get access, you can do whatever you want. You can switch on the camera, the mic remotely. You can click pictures. You can download the data from that Android phone remotely, wherever it is. Do whatever you want to. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Sorry? Come again?
Sir, does the pen testing come under automation testing?
Yeah, I'll be showing you both the manual methods as well as automated methods. We'll be using a tool called burpsuit, and using that burpsuit tool, I'll show you how to automate these different pen testings as well. I mean, the vulnerabilities as well, finding the vulnerabilities. Okay, so we'll be learning both the manual methods of how to logically find these vulnerabilities, and also the automated methods using tools that are used in the industries. A very important tool is burpsuit. So if you just search in your browser as well, where's my browser? So if you just go to your browser and search for burpsuit, this is a very important tool for web application pen testing, application security testing software, as you can see. Okay, you have a community edition and a professional edition as well. I'll be sharing the professional edition. Again, when you click on professional, this is a paid tool, so it's around $399. But you have the cracked version. So most of the tools I'll be using in our courses will be professional industry-based by industry-wide use tools. Okay, so I'll be sharing the cracked versions of these so that you can understand how to use these tools. Okay, in a real-time scenario. Okay, and again, when I talked about vulnerability scanning, we'll also be using a tool called Nessus. I guess you might have heard about this tool, Nessus, Baldeep, since you're working in a security department itself. This is a vulnerability scanning tool to get you the list of all the vulnerabilities and generate reports. Okay, again, you got to buy this tool. You have a free version as well. I already have Nessus loaded on my system. This is how it looks like. And then, so as you can notice, this can perform scanning for you. So if I click on scan templates, this is how usually in a real-time scenario perform scanning using these tools. Okay, and once you scan, this shows you the list of all the results. Okay, so it shows you the vulnerabilities on those systems, critical vulnerabilities or low vulnerabilities, and so on. And if you click on report, this shows you how the report looks like. HTML report, custom generate report. Okay, so usually in a network monitoring in an organization, when you're on fresher, your job is to perform scanning like this and generate reports like this and forward it to pen testers who can verify this report and try to perform pen testing. Okay, so we learn everything is practical based of what people do in a real-time scenario in organizations. So yeah, after gaining access, there's maintaining access, where we try to maintain persistent connections. So that even if the user restarts the system or shuts it down and starts it up again later, we need to maintain that connection. Okay. After that comes reporting, where I'll show you how to generate these reports and how to also clear traces, how to remove all the evidences as well. Okay. Again, if I've missed out some topics, guys, in the demo session, I'll be sharing you this PDF, or DurgaSoft directly will be sharing this PDF. Before we dive into all these advanced concepts, we'll have a few prerequisite classes where I'll teach you about virtualization, because we'll be using a very important tool called VMware. Again, this is also a paid tool. I'm using the cracked version of it. Using this VMware tool, you can install multiple operating systems. Okay, and what we use is the Kali operating system. Kali is a Debian flavored Linux operating system. So I'll be teaching you about Linux as well. Okay, So I'll show you how to install this lab setup on your system. And after the lab setup is done, we'll learn about basic of networking, Linux and Windows commands. So I'll teach you all about IP addresses, IPv4, IPv6, subnetting, subnet mask, all these basic concepts of networking are covered. After that, we dive into basic Linux commands. Okay. The reason why we have to learn Linux is because we're using this operating system, Kali. This is a penetration testing operating system, which is completely free and open source, and anyone can download this. And this is how Kali looks like, which has all the inbuilt tools. Yeah, go ahead.
So what topic will be covered in Android testing?
In Android pen testing, I'll show you how you can create malwares and install those malwares in Android phones and get remote reverse connection. So once a malware is installed on the target system, I'll show you how you can access that device and click pictures and get the data, download the data, and how to establish or how to create this malware for that Android.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, that's it, guys. Again, just to give you a brief on what all topics will be discussed on the course. A very basic session to understand what all topics are discussed and for you to get it clear if this is the one for you or not, if this is the correct course for you or not. Okay, so as of
can you scroll down a little bit on web
application testing? This is the advanced course, web application pen testing, where it basically focus only on the vulnerabilities in websites. Okay, these are all the vulnerabilities that exist in websites, and this is an advanced course.
Okay, it will be covered in it.
No, this is a completely different course, guys. After this course is completed, then you can opt. If you want to, you can continue with this course. And this is completely separate again.
Okay, it is separate from this batch.
Yes, basics of this course are included over here. Only few concepts, not all of them, as you can see. SQL injection, cross-site scripting. These are the concepts in this site. I mean, in this course. Okay, so only a few basic concepts of this course are included in CH. In-depth is a separate course.
So does we need to know networking also for this?
Basics of networking is sufficient, and I'll be teaching you that myself in the course. The first 2-3 classes are introductory classes where we learn about virtualization and networking. Again, you don't need in-depth knowledge like CCNA and CCNP. You don't need to know the routing protocols and stuff. Basically, what is an IP address, what are public IPs, what are private IPs, what are the different classes of IP addresses, what is a subnet mask, and what are MAC addresses, and so on. Basic concepts.
Okay, I mean it will be covered in on Linux environment, right?
If networking is common, whether it be Linux or Windows. Okay. So we'll learn about networking.
I mean to say when we perform all of this practice, will we be using a network? I mean Linux environment or the window?
Depends from practical to practical. For some of the classes, we'll be using Linux environment. Some of the practicals you can perform it on a Windows system itself.
Okay. So what are the what is commonly used, Linux or Windows in the
for 70% of the tutorial for the classes we'll be using Linux itself, and for the rest of the 30% we'll discuss it on Windows.
Okay.
And again, the course duration for CH is around 1 month. Okay, so we'll have classes from Monday to Friday, guys. A 1-hour session or 40 minutes session, more than sufficient, and it'll be done in a month, or max to max 35 days. Okay. For the course duration, for the course fees and the batch allotment, guys, you can contact DURGASOFT directly. If you have any technical queries regarding the course or regarding the topics and stuff, you have my number over here. The DURGASOFT itself can directly share you my number, or you can make a note of this. Okay. If you have any technical queries regarding the course or the topics, you can ask me directly. If there's any queries related to the batch allotment or the class timings or the fees, you can contact DURGASOFT for that. Any other questions, guys? If there's any questions, you can ask. If not, I can end the session.
Sir, actually, my question is little bit towards the industrial based. I mean, what profiles actually people work in the cyber security? I mean, what are major roles generally industry is now offering?
As I've told you, the roles are mostly for penetration testers. Okay, so you try to perform penetration testing on websites or on an organization, and check. So your job role will be as VAPT, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, to check for vulnerabilities in organizations on their servers, or checking vulnerabilities on websites, web applications. So your job roles would be security analyst or penetration testers or web application penetration testers. Okay, so that would be the scope of where you try to apply for jobs.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So it does come under full stack developer. I mean to say
No,
full
no,
stack QA developer, because
no,
I
no,
have
no.
seen on the resume different resume they mention it that pen testing include in full stack QA.
No, that is completely different. Salman. Salman is who's asking the question? Is that
Salman,
Salman?
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Salman. No, Salman. ये तो completely अलग है full stack से, तो this is completely different from full stack. This is only on. There's no development in this, as I've told you. You'll be using tools to perform penetration testing
No,
or
because
scan.
okay, because I have seen in software development in test where in that profile they have mentioned the pen testing and other tools including Selenium and all of that.
Those are for code testing. Those are for checking the source code. In this,
That's
you're
for
not.
the code testing. That is different testing part.
Yeah, though that is
It's
completely different. That is, there's two types. Like, there's one called SAST, static analysis security testing, where you go to the source code of the whole application, and in the source code you try to find vulnerabilities or mistakes. Okay, so that kind of pen testing is completely different from this. This pen testing is performed. The course in cybersecurity is performed on dynamic after the application is completely developed. On the forefront, on the front end, you try to perform the penetration testing practicals. What you're talking about is on the back end. You try to go through the source code and then you try to find the vulnerabilities.
Okay.
Sir, one question only. Actually, what exactly means for an interview? Certification is important or not for the job, getting the job in this? Because final is this now after completing your course, search for the job and getting the job. Hello.
Hello, Abbas,
Yeah,
can you hear me? Am I audible now? I'm so sorry.
yeah,
There's some network issue on my end. You were asking something, Abbas?
yeah. I just asking, sir. It means if I complete this and covered the certification also, so or not certified, so it means company is hiring me or not?
They usually prefer certified candidates. But if you're planning on not going with the certification, I would recommend you go with a few multiple courses and at least try to perform penetration testing on your end as a freelancer. So what you can do is you can learn web application pen testing and you can try to perform bug bounty. So if you just search for sites like Bugcrowd and so on, these are bug bounty platforms, okay, where various organizations post their website and ask for pen testers to perform penetration testing. Okay, so if I go to this and if I click on programs, this will show me a list of websites over here. One moment, guys. Yeah, as you can see, TripAdvisor, IOTA, Starlink, CoinDCX, iRobot. These are very common organizations. And these people have listed their website in Bugcrowd. So they're telling, if you find a vulnerability, we can pay this amount of money, okay, depending on the severity of the vulnerability. Okay, and when you click on that for specific target, if you find a vulnerability, you can add that to your resume. So at least that builds up genuinity that you are experienced. Okay, so that certifies at least like, okay, you have done pen testing, you have done bug bounty, and you're experienced to perform penetration testing.
Okay, so what is the starting package we getting means after, or depends upon the last pay all?
Again, would totally depend on your experience, but if you're a complete fresher, as I've told you, if you go with CS or not, starting it would start from 35 or 30 or 35, you could say.
Oh, okay. Means even if I'm having experience, but if I go for this switching my career to this, so it's say 35 also. Okay, that's okay.
Monthly 30 to 35K.
Oh, okay, depend upon my interview skills and all the stuff.
Interview skills and stuff, yeah. Depends on the organization, the company, and your skills on how well you do in the interview.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
My one more question. Actually, I usually see that DurgaSoft sir generally post some profiles also as along with the courses. So after regarding this cyber security profiles also, will we get little bit help or a little bit better profiles where we can apply to explore and can make a growth in
Yeah,
case?
definitely. So as soon as we get any references, as you know, if there's a requirement, if the companies contact us, we post that over there as the profiles. So you can directly contact them. Or I also have a few contacts. So I sometimes get references, like I have contacts who tell me that there's a requirement, and I can directly forward you those requirements. And I forward you their emails. You can apply for them. You can send your resume to them and start applying for interviews.
Okay, sir.
And specifically for jobs, there's a website called jobs.co.in specifically for cybersecurity jobs. For 1 second, guys, my network is a bit weak today. And this page is specifically only for cybersecurity jobs. Okay, senior security analyst, business development, cyber forensics intern, VAPT. These are the different job roles. SOC analyst, as you can see. Okay, so this is only for cybersecurity jobs, and this shows you what are the requirements. Okay, and the location. So this is a website specifically for cybersecurity jobs and nothing else. So you can start applying over here as well once you're done with the courses and once you're ready to apply. Is this clear, guys? Any questions?
This all are the startups.
Not specifically. There's combination. There's startups and there's well-known companies as well. But the thing is, this null job is specifically for cybersecurity. There's a null community specifically for hackers or for cyber penetration testers. There's a communities held, there's a researchers held, and there's a sometimes conferences held. Null holds conferences in India, all around the world as well. Okay, and this is the page from them. Null's job is a part of null community where they post the job listings for cybersecurity department.
And how we can contact if
How we can contact? You have the application over here, right? Guest apply.
I mean for the course related to the if we want to.
The course, yeah, you'll have to contact DURGASOFT for that, guys. So if there's any question related to the course joining, the date for joining of the batch timings, please contact DURGASOFT.
Regarding that.
Sorry. Yeah, as I've told you, after the session is done, please contact DURGASOFT or they'll call you back directly and they'll let you know. Okay, guys. Any other questions or further questions?
Sir, without certification, can we get the job, sir?
Again, as I've told you, Santosh, it might be a bit tough, depends on your skill level. Okay, but certification is a plus. If not, if you don't have a certification, at least you have to try to practically show them in the interview that you can do this. Okay, you have to answer the questions correctly without like you have to show them that you're skilled. Okay, that's it, nothing more than that. Certification is a plus. If you don't have it, you have to show them that you're skilled.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, guys.
So the classes will be online or offline?
At the moment, they're online, Baldi, because I am not in Hyderabad at the moment. I stay in a different location. So again, there's no difference in online or offline classes. I'll help you set up the same lab setup on your system, which will be an exact replica of what I have on mine. And we can continue classes as well online.
And there are these are the two batches, weekly classes and a weekend.
I guess there's two batches at the moment in the morning and the evening, depending on the students, we'll allot them. So depending on the majority of the students, if they want morning, we'll select a morning batch. If they want it in the evening, we'll go with the evening batch. So at the moment, I guess it's only the weekdays course. From Monday to Friday, there's classes every day. And for the timings and all, you'll have to contact DurgaSoft guys. As of now, for timings and fee related queries, you'll have to contact DurgaSoft. I am only concerned with the teaching part and for technical questions. Any other questions, guys? Baldeep, Rajesh, Salman, Santosh, Virendra. Any questions for anyone?
No question from me, sir. It's okay.
Yes, sir. No question.
Okay, Salman. Okay, guys. Soon in the classes. If there's any feedback, please let me know. Completely appreciate constructive feedback so that I can get better at the demos as well if there's any flaw. Okay, sure. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for today's session. Nothing more. I hope you have liked the demo session. If there's any questions, you can contact me directly. I've shared my number. If you have any questions regarding the course, course due date or course starting batch allotment times and all, please contact DurgaSoft for fee details and batch allotment details. I'll end the session. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.